Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Stat3D5. This is week 6, and this week will be a little bit different than weeks in the past. As you can see here, the title for this week is just review. So we are over here on our class layout. We've gone through and covered objects and functions, atomic vectors, vectors and subsetting, logic and control flow, and now we are here, review. Next week will be exam 1. So some of the differences you can see, there's no new reading for this week. There will not be a lab or quiz posted this week. The videos are a little bit different. This welcome video, which will be a little bit longer because I'll go over some of the exam policy and show a practice exam. We should just show where it is. And then this video right here, writing and debugging code. This video has been borrowed from David Dalpiez. It's an excellent video, and I just figured there's no reason to try to remake the wheel on it. It's a good video, and he talks about kind of like a general process for coding, coding philosophy, if you will. And then I have an exam 1 review video as well. Okay, so, right, assignments. There is still time to get 100% credit on lab and quiz 4. And there's time to get partial credit on lab 3 and 100% on quiz 3. Not 105, but 100% on quiz 3. So if you haven't done so, you have time to do it. There will be no more, at least this week, trickling in a material. Next week will be the exam, no new material, so you can take some time to get caught up. And then office hours will be, or normal office hours unless I contact you. Okay, so then main things are exam 1, the exam policy documents. So, okay, so what you will have to do is read this policy document very carefully and completely. Read it slowly, read it multiple times, make sure you understand everything here. This is kind of, I would say, the main hang up for this course is having to do these virtual exams. And so everything you need to know is in this exam policy document. And, you know, I don't want to create, add undue stress to this. I mean, people, I had 150 or so students last time. And only one student had problems with this. So, you know, I mean, I think that came down to probably just not reading this document. So if you read it and you do it, you go through the steps, you will be fine. Okay. So anyway, what can I do and where do I go when it's time to take the exam? So read this Prairie test documentation. Right. So what you're going to do is you'll navigate to Prairie Test from your computer, laptop. I still need to set the exam up, so this will be a little bit unfamiliar, but you'll navigate there, and this is the device that you will use to access the exam, Prairie Learn. So Prairie Learn will be the thing that implements the exam. Prairie Test is just an overall kind of like wrapper, if you will, which creates a testing environment, but then will just administer things via Prairie Learn like you've seen before. Okay, so you're going to have a computer or laptop or whatever you've been doing so far to to engage with this course and, you know, complete labs and quizzes. And then you also have a secondary device, which you will also have to navigate to Prairie Test too. Okay, and then this is the device that you're going to use for Zoom proctoring. Okay, so, dates and times. You know, our exam is Thursday, October 10th, 7 to 9 p.m. Champaign time. If you can't make it, then send me an email at least 2 business days before the exam containing this Stat385 conflict exam, net ID. Make sure you do this 2 to 3 business days. I have to set up the exam and, you know, administer all the sections, and then, you know, it will eventually time out, so I won't be able to do anything after a certain point. So let me know. Okay, so exam will be administered through Prairie Learn and proctored by the course staff via Zoom and Prairie Test. Okay, so this right here, I mean, read all of it, but this right here, this red, you know, cautionary text box is if there's going to be hangups, this is where they are. All right, so be sure to use the Zoom link provided via Prairie Test. So you'll sign in, it'll provide you a link, and that link will be released when the exam starts. Be sure to sign into Zoom via your single sign-on using Illinois Net ID and password. And if you're unfamiliar with this SSO sign-on process, read the mobile section of this documentation. So this, in extremely gory detail, contains step-by-step instructions with screenshots on how to access, how to sign into Zoom via a secondary device. Okay, so sign in with SSO right here, and then make sure you specify Illinois like this, and then it will take you to the normal screen. Okay, that's kind of the main thing, is specifying Illinois, sign in with SSO, Illinois, main screen here, and then input your credentials. Okay, so that is what we're going to be doing. And then you can, if you go to the top here, please read Prairie Test documentation, has some screenshots of how this is going to look. So you set up your device in a spot where we can see you and your computer and just your overall workstation to make sure that, you know, you're complying with the exam policy. You shouldn't have, you know, so you have your setup, and then we can approve it, and then you're good to go. You read this as well. It's got some tips. Use the restroom beforehand, whatever, you know, stuff like that. Okay, anyways. All right. So let's go back. And right, I've also added a practice exam. Normally I don't do practice exams in classes that I teach. I don't know, you know, you got your homework, you got your course notes, and you know, I don't like doing practice exams. But in this course, I think it's absolutely appropriate and essential, because of just how this online asynchronous format works with this like new exam on Prairie Learn. So, okay, so we can click it. It can go to, all right, okay. Oops, let's see here. Student view. Okay, I'm not a good student. Practice test. Okay, so practice exam 1. So this is that thing that's linked to on Prairie Test. Time limit for this assessment is 110 minutes. I certify that I am who I am, and I am allowed to take this assessment. I pledge to honor that I will not give or receive any authorized assistance in this assessment, and all work will be my own. Right, and then this is going to, you know, start the clock and open up your exam. Okay, great. So, right, you can see time remaining. I have designed this exam so that if you are, you know, well prepared and have done done the labs and quizzes, understand kind of the format and the flow of this course. Many of you are well prepared. I mean, you're doing great in this class. So the time shouldn't be a huge obstacle for this. And this setup will be very similar to, you know, your previous quizzes and labs. The difference being that available points, you know, it starts out, it has this decreasing scale. So for this question, your first attempt is worth 5 points, and then it decreases to 3.75, then to 2.5. And then it gets in, these are like, you know, about the exam. Before completing the exam, be sure to read the exam policy, check all of the following. So it's like, this is just a checkbox. This is kind of like a yes or no type thing. So yeah, you get 1 attempt, and then you get all the points. Just make sure you get all the points. And then here, you know, obviously once you get into coding stuff, it's a little bit trickier. So first attempt is 10, second attempt is also 10, so you get a freebie, and then third attempt goes down to 80%. So, you know, as long as you're staying focused, staying in the flow, you should be able to get a lot of points in this exam. You know, I like to emphasize, don't try to like meta game this or anything. You know, there should be plenty of time to answer these questions. Just every single question, try to do the best that you can and try to get full points. That's the metagame for this exam. And you can do this, you can take this exam multiple times. So now if I were to go back, I'm like, oh, well, I want to go through it again, or I didn't like how I wasn't in the zone, let's start it again. Certify and pledge the above. Great. Here we go. And now I have 2 of these open. Okay, so you can do this multiple times. It's fine. This is meant to be stress-free, a safe environment for you to practice and engage with the exam format. And, if you're set up with RStudio, you have RStudio open, you can, just Command-Shift-New, create a window, do your coding here, and then upload it to the exam. Okay. All right, I think, right. So there's a practice exam. We just covered it. There's a few videos, kind of a high-level philosophical video on writing and debugging code. Thank you, David Dalpiez. An exam 1 review. And yeah, this welcome video. No new reading, no new quizzes, labs. Get caught up. You guys are doing great. I will see you in the videos or in office hours. All right, take care. Enjoy this week as a catch up and refresher. Next week we'll have our exam. I will see you later. All right, bye.